Back again, back in the saddle
Yeah,
again. It has
after
been
so
a
long.
long, long time since our last episode, but wow, it feels so nice to be back again. Hello, all. Well, everybody is already tuning in. Hi, Holly. Hi, Anders. I see
We have
Raymond there
we
as
have
well.
Raymond singing Bohemian Rhapsody in the comments.
What a great start. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 34 of the VoiceIt show. I am Kanak, and that's Funky Almudi. I pointed in the right direction. Thank you, StreamYard. Uh, Great practice. What a great time. Thank you so much, all, for tuning in this week. And very excited for today. One of my favorite guests we have. And before we go ahead with the man of the hour, please go ahead and subscribe to the Voice It Show if you haven't yet. And we want to give a special shout out to our patrons. Funky, please go ahead.
Yeah, a huge thank you to Anders Lindholm, Shelley O'Neill, Adam Gorak, Chris Vickery, and Lori D. Sandoval. So thank you guys. And
Thank you
now
for your support.
Now is the
Yeah.
time. Now is the time to introduce our guest. So, it is our honor to have with us today a freaking cool guitarist, singer, composer, songwriter, performer, cowboy from USA, Mr. LYLE RONGLIEN. Lyle started on with his guitar journey when he was 10 years of age, and he's a power pack performer, be it playing with bands or performing solo. Lyle always stands out, and he has been involved in many projects and bands, namely Whiskey River America's #1 Skynyrd Tribute Band, Highway 9, Jessica Lynne Witty, Roger Fisher of Heart, and has played and recorded with most of them.
Yes, and Lyle's Facebook live stream concerts, the Taco Tuesdays and Cabin Fever Fridays from his home studio called the Banjo Bar have gained immense success and popularity in a short span of time, making him reach the music lovers and listeners across the globe. His elegant playing style, playful as well as profound song lyrics, use of instruments like banjo, kazoo, and various guitars, and his friendly interaction with the audience are a real can't miss.
Yeah, that's right. And not only that, but Lyle also has several solo albums to his name, which are out in the musical universe. Lyle Volume 3 being the latest album as of 2021. So, it's a huge privilege for us to welcome to the Voice It Show Mr. Lyle Ronglien. Welcome.
Hey,
Woohoo!
hi there, everybody.
Hello.
Hello! Hello!
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Thank
Good
you.
morning to you. Welcome to the
Holler and
Voice It
swaller,
Show.
holler and swaller, people. Raise them up and holler.
Woo!
Woohoo! And swaller.
Woo! There we are.
Last,
Gosh.
just a few short hours ago, I was sipping whiskey, sitting right here playing guitar, and now I'm sipping coffee. It's a whole different day.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coffee in the banjo bar.
It
So we
works.
are having.
It works. Coffee in the banjo bar. It works. I was actually usually I do my live streaming at night, in the
Mm-hmm.
evening, which would be your mornings.
Sure.
Um, and
Yes.
I wish I would have chosen a day or two out of the week to stream early in the morning from here, so it would reach the other side of the world in the evening. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I never
Sure.
did that. I never thought of it. It's like
Uh
who on the
huh.
other side of the world is going to watch me?
No
Okay.
idea.
And I was thinking I could still do that. Like, what it would be Saturday mornings would be a Saturday night over
Sure.
there. Yeah, I could still
Yeah,
do it
pretty much.
like this time. What
Yeah,
time is
maybe
That could
maybe
still happen.
noon. Maybe noon your time would be like night my time.
okay, around noon.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Sure.
I'll have to
Sure.
try it. I'll let you know when I'm going to do it.
Sure, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's so amazing. That's really
That
cool
would
of
be
you.
amazing.
Yeah,
And
but we have to.
before even right, before even you do it, you have already reached us. So that is one of the coolest things to happen. And
Yeah.
we're so excited to Lyle Ronglien looks like. And I was surprised to know he wakes up at 5 a.m. and one of the first things that he does is practices guitar. And I'd love to continue with that conversation. Would you like to again brief us about it shortly?
Sure, sure. Um, During my typical weekday, a Monday through Friday, uh, I'll get up at my alarm wakes me up about 5 a.m. I'll get
Hmm.
dressed, I'll make some coffee, and then I'll sit down here and I'll practice guitar for about a half an hour until, and I could be practicing something or recording something that I left off on the night before.
Hmm.
You know, but at least have a guitar and be playing for half an hour because
Hmm.
then I have to leave and go to work. And my
True.
job does not allow me to play guitar. My day job, I drive a school bus, so that's kind of tough to manage. And um, so I will just go to work. I'll come home, have lunch, try to play a little
Right.
bit of guitar for a few minutes, but then I have to go back to work, and then I'll get back home about 5 o'clock at night, and then I'll have to take care of other business, have dinner, catch up on emails and schedules, and try to play a little bit more guitar, work on songs that I'm working on, and stuff like that. And that
Sure.
would be a typical week.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that sounds
That's
interesting.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, and Lyle has quite a unique job than most of us, and he is a school bus driver. And one of the question that arises in my mind is, when did the kids on the bus find out that you are not just you're not just a bus driver, you're so much more than a bus driver, you are a complete rock star. How was the reaction?
um, Most of them don't know.
God.
And very much of them don't know who I am or what I am.
Okay.
I remember one time my middle school kids, the sixth, seventh, and eighth graders, they were really funny. They were really cool. I've had the same route and the same kids for the last
Wow.
4 years, and
Hmm.
so they've gotten to know me a little bit better, and I've gotten to know them. But I remember a few years ago they were going, "So, Mr. Lyle, do you have another job besides driving bus?" And I go, "Well, yes, I do." And they go, "What is it?" And I go, "You have to guess. You have to guess. I'm not
Ah,
going to tell you." And so they were I had my work laminate, my
right.
badge, and it had my name and picture on it. So I had to hide that so they couldn't Google my name, you know, and
Oh.
'cause they only knew my first name and they were trying to find my last name. So they guessed, they go, "You deliver pizzas."
Sure.
And I went,
God,
"No,
sure.
no." And so they guessed a bunch of funny stuff. They couldn't come close. And a couple days
Sure.
later, they found out my last name. I'm not sure how, and they Googled it and they go, "You
Oh,
play guitar, you know, and you're in a
sure.
band. You teach guitar and stuff." And I go, "Yeah." And and then at last year, right around this time,
Uh-huh.
uh, end of April of 2020, our schools were shut down. Our country was shut down, and much
True.
like yours, I'm sure.
Yes.
Um, our schools were closed with like no notice. It
Oh,
literally happened overnight.
oh no.
And our district, school district actually was in the epicenter of
Mm-hmm.
the United States, where the
Right.
pandemic first was reported.
True. True.
And so
Wow.
we had infections within our district right away, and
Oh
we
no.
closed down before our government closed us down. And
Yeah.
it was a shock. It literally happened overnight, and it left many of us puzzled and baffled. You know, nothing like this has ever happened, you know, in our history. And
True.
it was hard to kind of, you know, get straight in your head.
Get around.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it kind of messed with us. Usually
True.
we have a good rapport with our coworkers and our students' parents and the teachers, and you know, it's a team effort, and it's really fun to be a part of. But it freaked us
Right.
out quite a bit to not be able to say goodbye to everybody.
Right.
All of a sudden, we're stuck at home. So some
True.
of our drivers got together and decided, let's make a video to send out to everybody in our school district, um, to the parents and staff and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
with us bus drivers waving goodbye and stay safe, you know, and stuff like that.
Oh man.
And I don't know if you've seen that song or that video. So they called me and asked me if I could do the music for it. And I said, sure.
Wow.
And so I hung
Ooh.
up the phone, and 30 minutes later, I just sat on the couch because everybody's just at that time of the year, we're all glued to the TV watching
Yeah.
True.
and the
Very
report.
true.
You know, a year ago, April, we're doing nothing. We're stuck at home doing nothing and freaking out because the world is changing every hour. And
True.
I hung up the phone, and then in 30 minutes I wrote the song.
Wow.
Wow.
And I texted them back the lyrics of the song, the bus drivers that I was dealing with, and
Right.
they all cried.
Yeah.
It was just a real touching song,
Man.
and the video is out there. It's called,
Google it.
I don't know, it's called "We Are Thinking of You."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's the bus drivers. We are thinking about you, the kids, you know,
Right.
and because we knew that they were going through the same thing that we were going through. You
True.
know, that
Absolutely.
they don't know what's going on, and we don't know what's going on, and
True.
so that was a real fun thing, and I ended up.
Yeah.
It came out really good. The song and the video came out so touching. Uh, it basically made people
Absolutely.
cry. It made a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people cry. So a lot of the parents throughout the district and the kids got to see the video. So now they know me even
Yeah.
better,
Right.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Good thing. Yeah.
and now
Absolutely.
a lot of the school districts across the country know me too, because um,
True.
I got responses of people asking me in other school districts across the United States if they could use my song and in their own video.
Wow.
Hmm.
And I went,
Right.
sure. So immediately I called up my boss and said,
Mm-hmm.
hey, here's what's going on. Who do I talk to? And
Right.
so she gave me our state, the state that we live in,
Right.
the person that is in charge of it, the superintendent of
Mm-hmm.
schools and transportation, and they got a hold of me, and they gave me a huge list of all the names, emails, and phone numbers of the people in the United States in each state that I need to contact.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I created a contact sheet and I started contacting all these people. Now, mind you, I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
True. True.
My day job was shut down and all my gigs were shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Yeah.
all I was doing was sitting on the couch watching TV and watching the news and
Oh yeah.
talking with friends. So now I got busy contacting everybody around the United States and the superintendent of
True.
each state of all the public schools. Then they would send me a list of all the
My
school
God.
districts in each state. So for the next 2 weeks, I was emailing all these people across the United States and
True.
into Canada,
Oh,
and
wow.
they would
My
write
God.
back to me, and I I would upload and share the audio file and show them our sample
Right.
our video that we made, and then several weeks later or a month later or something, I would start getting videos back from all over the United States
No
of
way.
their school districts and their bus drivers making a video similar to ours with my music in it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so for I don't know 2 to 4 weeks, that was a project that I did, and it was really heartwarming, and to be able to have that
Actually,
touching impact across the United States.
Yeah,
yeah,
that is so
absolutely.
cool.
And
And
the
we
way
will
I
have to
see it,
find that video.
You want to see
absolutely, we will.
that video? I'm not sure if it's on YouTube or Vimeo.
Yeah, we'll
Vimeo.
Vimeo,
find it.
yeah.
It's
We'll
called "We
find
Are
It's
it.
all
Thinking
good.
of You."
It's okay. If we find it, we find it.
It,
We will.
No, but
it was great. It was one of those things that, like I said, I wrote all the lyrics in 30 minutes.
true,
I
true.
didn't know what the music would sound like. Uh,
Hmm.
I just I waited until the next day to start
True.
working on the music,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden
Wow.
the music just came to me, and I started recording it, and by the end of the day, it was all done, and it was just something that came together
Right.
that needed to be done, and something I had to do, and I had the time to do it.
Yeah, that's
True.
right.
This is so wonderful, And the way I see it, you light a candle and then it lights another candle, it lights another candle. It's such a beautiful thing. And because, first of all, things are shut down, and now you got, well, basically, you don't have anything to do, but you got so much to do. It's
Yeah.
like that. And it's really wonderful. And most of the things come out of your heart and reach the heart. They they come so spontaneously. That's what I think. So this is one of those things. It's really wonderful, and thank you for sharing this with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes,
So
and
yeah.
when we find the video, we will post it so the others could see it as well. So
Sure.
I'm gonna now continue with the questions, and I'm gonna take you to the very, very beginning. So you started playing the guitar at the age of 10. So tell us how that journey started.
Ooh.
Well, I was about 10, and then my dad was really into um, the country guitar style
Mm-hmm.
of Johnny Cash, and
Mhm.
he liked that kind of guitar stuff, and he asked for a guitar for Christmas, and we didn't have any instruments in the house. Nobody played music. It was not a musical family. And we thought, "Ooh, that sounds like a fun idea.
Oh,
Let's get Dad a guitar. He wants a guitar for Christmas." So my mom and I went to the store, and I helped pick out. There's my mom. Happy Mom's Day. Look at me.
Young Lyle.
Yeah. And we were in Minneapolis and for the Christmas holiday. That's where my parents are from.
Uh-huh.
And we picked out a guitar. I helped pick it out. There was several at the store to pick from, and I picked out the one that I liked the best, and definitely in our price range. And
Right.
brought it home, and Dad loved it. I loved it, and we had a beginner book. I think it was a Roy Clark book method 1, and
Wow.
Roy Clark was another guitar player that my dad and I enjoyed. He was on a show called Hee Haw over here in the States. It was
Whoa.
kind of a bluegrass country variety show. It was really cool. Lots of music,
Nice.
lots of musicians, and lots of funny dumb jokes and stuff and skits. But we both started practicing together, and I just
Mhm.
loved it. I thought, this is so cool. And I still have that guitar. It's hanging on the wall behind me.
Oh
And
wow.
it's
Wow.
right there, that one with the white pick guard on it. That one.
Oh nice.
Oh,
That's
yeah. So cool.
and I love that guitar. And we started practicing. My dad stopped practicing because it hurt his fingertips. You know,
Sure.
I think he was pushing too hard and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So he gave it up, but I kept going. And I've never
True.
stopped. I never taken a break from it. It's just something that came over me, that this is something I like to do, and I can do
Mhm.
it kind of good, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's funny.
It's,
Kind of
there's
good.
there's a great lesson here. Never give up on the guitar.
Right. Well,
It is gonna get better.
Oops.
exactly, exactly.
Well,
Awesome.
I have to mention that I did give up on the guitar. Well, classic guitar at least, and then I moved on to bass guitar, which I now am learning how to play.
Oh,
So
good,
there's that. Yeah.
good. It's a little easier on the bass guitar, isn't it? Because you got these big strings,
Big
and you
strings.
only have to play one note at a time, and
Yeah.
you kind of thump around and have fun with it. Um, Definitely, and I
Absolutely.
love the sound of the big bass guitar, so it's
Yeah,
awesome.
bass is much easier, although the only problem I have is that it's sort of a bigger bass and my hands are tiny, so you know, it's hard to stretch the hand, but I'm working on it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You'll grow up. You'll grow up.
I hope so.
uh, since we're speaking of guitars, last night the Cabin Fever Friday was on. So Lyle was playing last night, and he was playing his new acoustic guitar. If I'm not wrong, is this your new guitar?
Yes.
Would you like to tell us about it?
Yeah, this one is
There
uh
it is.
I think it's made in Spain,
Wow.
by the Cordoba company. And
Oh yeah.
so it's different than most of my other guitars, whereas it's a classical guitar,
Hmm.
much like what
Oh
Funky
yes.
started on, with
Yeah.
the wider neck and the nylon strings. And
Wow.
I've always had one, but I've never had a professional quality one.
Yeah.
True.
Because most of my playing style has always been electric guitar and steel string acoustic guitar. But
All right.
I have practiced a little bit of the classical sounds and stuff like that. And last year, I think it was last summer, I took my old nylon classical guitar that was really
Mm-hmm.
cheap. I mean, it was unplayable anymore. It was just terrible. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually took it out and loaded it with explosives and blew it up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I filmed it.
Yeah.
I used like 5 cameras and slow motion and everything.
God.
I filmed it. It's on my YouTube somewhere. And
Hmm.
We need to
and
watch
because
that.
Yes, we
because
do.
well, it was either that or throw it in the garbage,
Yeah.
and because it was truly unplayable, really cheap beginner guitar, and
Uh-huh.
so I didn't want to throw it away, and I couldn't give it away because it was unplayable. It the neck was all messed up, so
Right.
otherwise
Right.
I would have gave it away, to a beginning student or something, or donated it to a church or something. But
Mm-hmm.
so I blew it up, and
Right.
then I started shopping for another guitar. So this one is just exactly what I wanted, and I've been kind of keeping my eye out for several years of
Wow.
what to get. It's hard to see in the camera, but it's just beautiful wood and craftsmanship, and it's not too
It
expensive.
is.
It's not too expensive, so I'm not too worried about it. Um,
Hmm.
Wow.
and it's got all the electronics that I'd want on it, and the cutaway, so I can reach the high notes, and
True.
and one of the things that this company does with this particular model is they do
Mm-hmm.
make the neck a little narrower than a normal
Yeah.
classical guitar, just a few millimeters narrower,
I
and
was just gonna ask that. Yeah.
then they put a slight radius to it, just a slight
Oh
radius,
yeah.
and compared to the normal classical guitar, which is very wide and very flat.
Hmm.
Flat.
So this feels so comfortable to play.
True.
Um,
Right.
Switching from one guitar to another, even though this one's a little wider
Yeah.
compared to the other guitars I have, it's still an easy switch and totally comfortable. So
Beautiful.
I used a lot of the banjo bar tip money that I would save up, and I think it was
Phil.
at the beginning of this year that I
Uh-huh.
finally decided to buy this,
Hmm.
because I
It is a beautiful piece.
really love the sound of the soft nylon guitar.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
And
Yes.
Kanak, you've heard me do like For the Love of God with it,
By Steve Vai. Yes.
and a few other
Yes.
little things on it, and Europa by Santana and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
so beautiful and expressive on these, and pure,
Truly.
you know. I've always been a
Truly.
fan of the classical guitar and the nylon string, and so
That is a terrific beast. Yes.
I'm very happy
Beautiful.
with that. Very happy with it.
Yeah, it's a
Truly.
nice
Yeah.
guitar.
It sounds
And
really amazing. Yeah.
yeah, before we miss it, we have a question in the comments. So Ben is asking, what is the first song you learned to play?
That's a thinker.
Yeah.
You know, um, I technically the first song I learned to play was something from the instruction book, I'm sure, some
Yeah.
little simple thing that I don't remember. Um, I remember I remember the first little piece of music that I wrote,
Yeah.
that I made up in my head, on the guitar, and it was using some of the new things that I was learning on the guitar. I'm gonna plug in so you can hear this better.
Sure.
Woo! Guitar time.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in the study book, in the guitar book, I was learning the basic chords as a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
and so instead of the big G chord that us
Hmm.
play now, I was just doing the 3-string chord like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And I just
wow.
loved the sound of it. It was so easy to do. And then the book would show me how to do the G7 chord like this with one finger. And I'm like, this is easy. This is great. and then they would show the one finger C chord. Now this was a little tougher because you had to put your finger over here in between two strings. So then I started experimenting with these chords, and I made up a little song or a little piece of music that would still sound like this. And I teach this to some of my very beginners, total beginner people. I'll still teach this, and it sounds like this. And so it's funny that I still remember that because it had a big impact on me on how something so simple could sound so good.
Exactly.
That is so cool. Yeah, very beautiful.
I think that's always driven me, that
Right.
to make, and I teach that kind of thing in my guitar lessons, is something that is simple. Try to make it sound beautiful, I remember a student of mine. He lives in New York now, but we were talking about this, and I was teaching him very complex stuff at the time, and I go, man, stop. I go, here's your assignment. Can you play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on one string and make it sound beautiful?
Wow.
And he's like, Lyle, you're crazy. And I go, no, do it. And do it without mistake, and make it sound as beautiful as you can on one string, and as simple as you can. And so he understood where I was going with it, because I started playing it for him, and he went, oh, okay, I got you. Even if it's a simple little song, if you can make it sound beautiful, that's half the battle right there,
You surely did.
Yeah, it really is. And same with you, Canuck. If you're practicing your guitar, which I know you do, slow down, make it sound good. And when you're practicing your bass, I mean, there's a lesson for you right there, Funky. Just take your big string and do what I did, and try to figure out how to play. Try to play on the big bass string and make it sound beautiful. Slow down, take your time, and experiment. I threw in a little extra little fancy stuff, and you can do it without throwing that stuff in, and it teaches you a lot of things,
Yeah, that's true. Playing fast is a bad foundation. There you go.
You can make your bass sound like a cello, Imagine. Little vibratos. And it's just a simple little exercise and a thought pattern to get into when you're working on music, or even just practicing and improvising. The simple stuff.
Absolutely.
I will.
You just gave
try
us some gems. Gems you gave us.
But we're gonna ask you for another gem. So as Raymond here is saying, time for some funky Al Medina.
Oh my God! Okay. I'm going to switch guitars for this one.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
I got to put on the headphones for this too. Hold
Sure.
on. Hold on.
Sure. All yours.
Oh, man. I think that's close enough. All right, here we go. Coolin' at a bar, and I'm looking for some action, but like Mick Jagger said, I can't get no satisfaction. The girls are all around, but none of them want to get with me. My threads are fresh, I'm looking set. Yo, what's up, LOC? The girls are so shocking at the end of the bar, having drinks with some no-name chump when they know that I'm a star. So I got up and strolled over to the other side of Cantina. I asked the guy, why you so fly? He said, Funky Cole Medina. That's right, Funky. My brother told me a secret on how to get more chicks. Put a little Medina in your glass and the girls will come real quick. It's better than any alcohol or aphrodisiac. A couple sips of this love potion and she'll be on your lap. So I gave some to my dog when he began to beg. Then he licked his bowl and he looked at me and did the wild thing on my leg. He used to scratch and bite me before he was much, much meaner. But now all the poodles run to my house for the Funky Cole Medina. That's right. I got every dog in my neighborhood knocking on my door. I got Lassie. Yeah. Come on. I went up to this girl. She said, hi, my name is Sheena. I thought she'd be good to go with a little Funky Cole Medina. She said, I'd like a drink. I said, okay, I'll go get it. Then a couple sips, she could lick her lips, and I knew that she was with it. So I took her to my crib. Everything went well as planned. When she got undressed, it was a big old mess. Sheena was a man. I threw him out. I don't fool around with no Oscar Mayer wiener. You must be sure that the girl is pure for Funky Cole Medina. That's right. I think this song needs a kazoo solo. You know? When's the last time somebody played a kazoo on your show? Oh, yeah. Yeah, back in the saddle, and I'm looking for a little tension. I took a shot as contestant on the Love Connection. The audience voted, and you know, they picked a winner. I took my date to the Hilton for Medina and some dinner. We had a few drinks, I'm thinking soon what I'll be getting. Instead, she started talking about plans for a wedding. I said, wait, slow down, love, not so fast, I'll be seeing ya. That's how, fella, you don't play around with the Funky Cole Medina, yeah. That's right. That Medina's a monster, y'all. That's right. There we go. Yeah.
Holy crap. Wow. I am
All four.
speechless. Wow.
All four verses.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're
Oh
welcome.
my god.
Gosh,
I
blown
love
away,
that.
blown away.
That was
Yeah.
so cool.
Man,
Yeah, I just
Wow.
I love some of that old 80s rap stuff. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
good times.
uh,
Good times,
so fun, so fun. Gosh, I've forgotten what was I gonna ask you next.
Literally.
You forgot. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just lost
Not
all
at,
our viewership right there, didn't I?
No.
not at all.
Uh,
Gosh, so fun.
do we have live viewers
Yeah.
watching right now? Hi
Absolutely,
Yeah.
everybody. And
absolutely.
from where you guys are? Like
Sure.
I know I have a couple friends from my city that are watching,
Right.
Holly and Raymond and Jessica probably, and but you've
Yeah.
got your
Oh,
friends and followers from around the countries.
they're
That's
Oh
great.
yeah, they're
yes.
from all over the globe joining in
Yeah.
from Sweden,
Australia.
UK,
Australia. Hi Adam.
Australia.
Hi Adam from Australia. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
from all over the world, as you said.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's really
I
fantastic.
have to show this comment by Raymond. That twinkle twinkle little star hit some beautiful stuff, Mr. Ronglien. Now what do you say? Now
Melt.
melt our faces out with the eruption button. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Raymond.
Gosh.
Hi from
This
So,
Sweden. Ah,
yeah,
my family's
absolutely.
originally from Norway. Uh, couple
Yeah.
Wow.
several generations ago, couple generations ago. So hi from
Mhm.
Sweden. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, your last
Awesome.
name is kind of like, Norwegish or however.
Yeah.
Uh, we have
Cool.
Japan as well.
Hi Japan. Hi Marted.
Konnichiwa, Martin. Awesome. So I want to segue you into uh, this thing, and I wanna know about your friends, and those friends are generally in the backside of you, behind you. These.
That's a great picture. Um, it was right around Halloween, and my friend that lives around here, HR, he saw those at the store, and and
Wow.
and bought those for me. He figured I needed them for the banjo bar, and I just loved it. I thought it was so great, and then
Absolutely.
I ran a contest on my Facebook page to I needed names for them
Yeah.
because in the box they came in this big box and they didn't even have names for them. Like this
Hmm.
is Fred and this is
Right.
John. There was no names. And so
Right.
I ran a little contest on my Facebook, and I had about 100 different entries, of
Whoa.
suggestions for their names. And my actual my driver trainer at the school job came up with the winning name, Smith and Wesson, which is
Oh,
Ooh.
the brand of a gun company,
yeah.
American gun company,
Ah.
Smith and Wesson. I thought, oh, there you go, that's perfect. I like that.
Yeah, cool name.
And
Cool names. Yeah. Absolutely. And they go with you I mean, they sit everywhere. They're in the closet and they are everywhere, pretty much everywhere.
yeah,
Just look at this.
yeah, I I have skeletons in my closet. That's true.
What a thing to say.
What a thing to say.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, apart from music, one of your favorite hobbies is riding your Harley Davidson.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And what all places have you explored on the bike, and what other places are you looking forward to explore?
Oh. Um. Well, I've ridden out in Montana and Wyoming, Yellowstone
Hmm.
National Park, down to the Grand Canyon, Arizona. That was
Wow.
just a couple weeks ago. That's my friend's bike. Because I flew down.
Aha.
I flew down to Arizona, and he lets me ride his motorcycle when I come down. There's mine. She's
Yeah.
a she's a beauty.
What a
She
Love
beauty.
is.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and so Oregon, Washington,
Uh-huh.
California, Idaho, Utah. So a lot of the states around this section of the United States, the
Mhm.
west side from Montana and down.
Right.
I haven't gone farther than
Mm-hmm.
Montana on the motorcycle. It gets kind of flat out there and just kind of boring once you get into the
Yeah.
mid part of the United States. Um, and I've gone up into Canada north of here, and several times, and I really love it up there. It's so beautiful. And last summer, the borders were closed. We couldn't get up into there, and
Ah.
I had all that free time,
Yeah.
with no job, no performances or anything, and I wanted to go up there and explore, but so I ended up exploring everywhere else, down into Arizona and Nevada and Canada and stuff or I mean, not Canada, uh, just everywhere. But
Cool.
I'm hoping this summer the borders are open because
Hmm.
Right.
I'm dying to explore a little bit more up in. It's just north of Washington. We're in Washington. There's my buddy's bike on the on your left.
Hurricane
Uh,
Ridge. Yeah.
that's Toby, and my bike is on the right, and that's up at
Yeah.
Hurricane Ridge. That's
Right.
about an hour and a half ride from here. Um,
Cool.
and we go riding on big trips together, and we have similar bikes,
Wow.
and and he's a
Awesome.
musician as well. You should probably get him on your show. I'll give
Maybe
you
we should.
Absolutely. We love that.
Toby Brady. He does a live stream
Totally.
from Toby Brady from um, he does a live stream from his basement, and it's beautiful. And
Sure.
he does a lot of his own songs. We just released a new song and made a video for it. It came out really cool. So yeah,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
really?
you should look him up. He's one of my best
Surely.
friends, and we spend a lot of time writing and doing music together.
That's very nice.
Toby,
We will check them out for sure.
if you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
watching, Toby, you're next.
You're next.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's
uh,
awesome. He's awesome. You should check him out. No, he doesn't use a looper. Okay. He doesn't use
wow.
like I do. But
Yeah.
he plays an acoustic guitar, and then
Uh-huh.
he's got two different suitcases, one
Uh-huh.
in front of his left foot and one in front of his right foot, suitcases standing on end with microphones on them, and then he's got drum
For the rhythm. Yeah.
foot pedals, and they're banging on the suitcases, and they make the kick
Oh,
drum and the
yeah.
snare drum
Oh,
sound.
wow.
Snare drum.
And then he's got a few other little electronic pedals to make his guitar sound a little different. And he sings and writes a lot of his own music, and he's really unique. So you check that
Mhm.
out.
Absolutely.
We will. We
We
for
will.
sure will.
Definitely we will. And
Yeah.
since we are talking about solo music and music of your own, you also have quite a few albums of yourself out, and just like we mentioned at the beginning, Unplugged 2020, then Lyle Volume 1, 2, and 3. And is there any other album that is in works?
Yes.
And
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
oh,
Please
finish
tell
your
us about it.
question. Finish your question though.
Okay, so I was gonna ask, and which is one of your favorite albums from your own albums, and why?
Good question. Well, first of all, just recently, last winter, um, I decided to publish LYLE Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Now, these were recorded like 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
during
Yeah.
during a
Wow.
span of about 5 years, from 1998 to 2005 maybe.
Uh-huh.
And
Right.
that's what I used to look like. and 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 that's kind of recent. Volume 3 picture, it's kind of a recent picture, but Volume 3 was
Yes.
still recorded back around early 2000s, so almost 20 years ago. So it's pretty old stuff.
Right.
It's it was just done as a hobby, as art,
Hmm.
and
Right.
I bought, you saw that picture, I bought all that gear, I learned how to plug it all in and
Oh,
record,
yes.
and spent a lot of money on that stuff as my
True.
hobby. And it wasn't to make money, it was just my hobby. And so
Beautiful.
these files have been sitting on my hard drive for these last 20 years, and
Wow.
I decided to put them out there just in case um, I lose them, in case my computer gets stolen or whatever. I just wanted, and I might as well put them out there, and in case anybody cares, in case anybody wants to hear them,
True.
because to me, there's some really great compositions and guitar playing in a lot of it, and
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it. I just wasn't sure anybody else would care to listen to it like I do. So, but I listened back to some of them. I'm actually quite blown away at what I did with those 3 volumes, and the
Right.
progression of what the sounds were, and it's very different for me. It's very eclectic
Yeah.
and heavy guitar and beautiful guitar and some different things, and none of it was acoustic. It was all electric,
Mm-hmm.
Electric. Yes.
and so it was a lot of fun. I'm not sure which one is my favorite. Um, there's there was stuff on Volume 3. I didn't know I had a Volume 3 uh, until a few.
Really?
Well, yeah, I thought it was. I forgot that I had it. I forgot that I had it,
Yeah.
and because yeah, this stuff
Okay.
is like a couple decades old, and
True.
I don't really listen to it. So then I remembered, yeah, I think there is some stuff, and I searched around on my spare hard drives, and I found them, and I went, oh my gosh,
Ah,
oh my gosh, and I haven't listened to them in so long.
treasure.
I listened to them, and they were so awesome, and I was like, this is great.
Truly.
My little brother plays bass guitar on much of the work that we did
Wow.
that I did,
That's
and
amazing.
Beautiful.
otherwise I programmed or played all the other stuff,
Hmm.
and
Right.
so
That's cool.
and then during 2020, during the pandemic shutdown, total nothing to do,
Hmm.
I decided to take my current originals and record them acoustic style,
Right.
like you would hear me at the banjo bar play. And so
Which is awesome.
I recorded those, and I put that out on iTunes, called 2020 Unplugged. I mean, 2020 was really unplugged,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah. Very
and
much.
and I like that it documents a period of time for me, and
Absolutely. It does.
it really does, and very emotional for all of us artists, and so at least I had an outlet.
Totally.
I had the banjo bar. I had a lot of projects online that I was working on. I was doing voiceover work for a couple of media companies and
Wow.
and internet companies, and doing from my home studio. I was keeping busy with that and playing on other people's recordings, and but that so I kept busy. Now that 2020 Unplugged is the current original songs, but I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
slowly been recording those with a producer in a real studio. We started it right before
Cool.
the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and it
Uh-huh.
threw everything off, and all of us scrambling trying to figure out what to do. And we're almost done though now.
Oh, really?
And,
Wow.
and so
Congrats.
thanks. It's those songs on that record on 2020 Unplugged, but done professionally with a real producer
Right.
and drummer and stuff like and different musicians. And I'm really happy to have that to work on. And again, it's a
So cool.
it's a project that is for art. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
it's my friend who's the producer. Him and I are just approaching it as professional as we can, but remembering that this is art, and
Totally. Yeah.
let's have fun with it. Let's do the right thing. We don't need to make it
Right.
we don't need to make it perfect, but let's let's do the right thing. And so we're it's
Living the
all
spirit of art.
yes, and do the best you can. And it's been a real fun journey, and that's the thing with this album. It's not the destination.
Fantastic.
It's not the destination, it's the journey of
Mm-hmm.
Journey. Ah,
of going through
that's
this and taking our time. I mean, it doesn't need to be done right away. It
absolutely. There
we
you
take
go.
we take it, and we don't spend days and days and weeks and months recording it like some bands might. We're just taking our
Mm.
time. It's like
Yeah.
last night I scheduled.
Enjoying the process.
Yeah, last night I said, "Hey, how about 2 weeks from now I come over and we'll do some more recording?" And he's like, "Sure, okay." You know,
Yeah.
Right.
we know what we're gonna do. I mean, basically,
Mm-hmm.
we already mapped that out like a year ago,
Yeah.
and
Right.
we spent time mapping it out of how the songs are gonna go, and did
Right.
a lot of homework involved. So I
Mm-hmm.
think when that album gets done, which is the 2020 Unplugged, but it'll be the full band, and it'll be called something different.
Yeah.
It won't be
Sure.
called 2020 Unplugged. I'm not sure what it's going to be called yet, but that'll end up being my favorite album of
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
because
I'm
nobody.
excited. I'm
Working
excited to
title.
hear it because that
Yeah,
is my favorite album as well. So
thank
Yeah. I
you,
was just going to say that. We
yeah.
love 2020 Unplugged.
thank you.
In
And
fact, we love 2020 Unplugged. Obviously, it's going to sound much better and it's going to have much more flavor in it, so to say.
oh, it's so good right now. I mean, when you hear 2020 Unplugged, those songs I wrote, you're just hearing
Yeah.
how I would do it, with the looper pedal and the acoustic guitar, stripped
Yeah.
down. But now, with the way it's going to sound, and that was one of my initial ideas, is here's the same songs but two different albums, totally
Mm-hmm.
two different albums.
Right.
And in case you like it, you might like this other one too, to hear it in a different way, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's like a raw product and a finished product. It's beautiful.
yeah. So I'm
Both are
really
beautiful.
I'm very excited when I go to work on it and hear what it is. In fact,
Hell yeah.
Jessica Lynne, you two know Jessica.
Yeah.
She took one of my
Who?
songs. Yeah, who?
Jessica who?
Yeah,
No idea.
yeah. That
Sorry, Jessica. We love you.
um, um, she just took one of my songs and recorded it in Nashville.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Dance with the Devil.
yeah, and I just heard it yesterday, and it sounds amazing. It's so good. She did so
Yeah.
good. I'm so proud of it, and of course,
Yeah.
Dance with the Devil, I think is on 2020 Unplugged, but it's also on my new record, which sounds totally different than any of anything else, and so it's going to be fun to hear the two versions of the same song done,
Mm-hmm.
one by Jessica, one done by me. When it's all finished, it's going to be crazy.
The
We'll have a dance off, a dance with the devil off.
hell
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's even more exciting is right now sensing and seeing the passion in your voice about the upcoming album. And gosh, it's so beautiful that I feel even more excited to listen to it.
Yeah.
And obviously, I can't wait to hear it. It's gonna be
Thank
so awesome.
thank you. I listened to my volumes 1, 2, and 3 of all my instrumental stuff. Uh,
Right.
that where I tried to play all this really cool guitar work, and some of my favorite guitar players throughout the years have all these amazing albums and play amazing guitar on their album. That's not
Yeah.
that's not what my new album is about.
Hmm.
My new album isn't about how good I can play guitar
Yeah.
or
Right.
how fast I can play stuff or how cool I can play stuff. It's
Hmm.
it's about the overall vibe of the
Mm-hmm.
song.
Yeah.
It's not an album that shows off my guitar playing. It's it's
It
it's showing
feels.
it's showing off just art done by myself, a few of my musician friends helping me, and my amazing friend and producer Kelly Gray, and
Ah.
teaching me a lot. I've learned a lot working with him on this album. I've known him for 35
Right.
years or something, and we never worked together on an album.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Wow.
and I've never had anybody produce me.
Ah.
I've always had to do everything myself, all the engineering, all the recording, all the decisions uh,
Uh-huh.
for any of my own stuff. And
Right.
I've produced a few albums before volumes 1, 2, and 3. Uh,
Hmm.
and and I've worked with producers in the studio on other people's records
Mm-hmm.
Right.
where I was the guitar player on other people's records and a producer was telling me what to do.
What
But
to do? Yeah.
I've never had anybody produce my music, so I was really excited uh, to have this opportunity, and it's totally coming out so much different than anything I could ever imagine. Of my
So
song
beautiful. Yeah.
because I've worked.
Especially when
Go,
especially when you have been on both the sides, because your song is being produced now and you have also worked under a producer, so to say. And it's so beautiful. And as you said, it's not about your skills as a guitarist. I think guitar on this thing is just a mere medium of what you are feeling in totality. So it's all about the spirit, the vibe, as you said.
yeah.
Guitar is just the medium.
Yes, it's my tool. It's my
It's
medium
your
of
tool.
expression, and because over the last 3 or 4 years of these songs that I've written, I've recorded them here in my home studio, and
Yeah.
spent countless hours working on them and getting them to sound good to me. But then
Hmm.
now the producer has taken those songs and they he's done things to them I never could imagine, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm like, wow. and it and it and it's all the stuff I like, you know, it's stuff that I really like. It's just that I never thought of that. I've never had a producer dissect, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
things in front of me and teach me why he's doing that, you know, and why I would want to
True.
approach it. So it's really, really good.
I can just imagine the joy you feel.
Yeah.
So cool. So cool.
And
I
I mean, we love
Go
it.
ahead,
We love
Connor.
it so much now, as how it is right now. But and I can't imagine our reaction and how much we're gonna love it when it comes
Hell
out.
yeah.
The new thing. So I'm so excited to listen to it. You have no
Yeah,
idea.
me too.
Totally.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Totally. And not only that, Lyle has worked and is still currently working with many bands. It's Highway 9 and Whiskey River, Jessica herself. And my question is, you play with the bands as well and you perform solo as well. So what is your favorite thing between these two things, playing with the band or playing your solo gig?
Oh, I think they're totally different for me. Um,
Right.
when I play the solo gigs, um, there's certain rewards and feelings of accomplishment, you know,
Hmm.
and
Right.
satisfaction in being able
Yeah.
to be free and do whatever I want, um,
Yeah.
with no strings attached and no pun intended. But um, but it's kind of I can just go my own way with it during the performance.
Right.
It's very challenging also as a soloist because you're not being supported by members of a band. So it's up to
Right.
you as a soloist to somehow engage everything around you. So that's always rewarding. And then
True.
playing with a band, um, it's so much fun because I get to connect on a the members of the band were connected, you know, in many ways
Right.
during uh, during the whole that surrounds the whole performance and during the performance, and
Right.
and so we work off of each other. We help each other become a unit, and so there's different rewards for that as well, you know, and
True.
so it's two different things, you know. It's two different things. I really enjoy both as equally. It's
Awesome.
hard to say which one would be
Differentiate.
better.
Yeah.
They're
That's
both
fair.
different,
Yeah.
and I have different roles in different bands, and so that
Right.
that keeps it simple, or I mean, and different for me. Different roles, like Highway
Hmm.
9, I'm the lead singer and the lead guitar player,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and
Cool.
so a lot of it rests on my shoulders. Whereas in Jessica's band, Jessica is the lead singer and I'm the just the guitar player. And in a couple other bands, there'll be slight differences where I have different roles in the band, and so it's kind of fun. You know, prior to the pandemic, I was very involved and busy in several bands and my solo stuff. It was crazy, and the day job. And then the pandemic came, and then everything was just wiped off the slate, wiped off the calendar, start over. And now we're just beginning to start over again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like, well, okay, well, what do you do now? Who wants to play? But it's not quite all opened up yet. So it's a
Yeah.
slow start. Jessica has got a lot of gigs lined up for us, and besides
Yes.
Jessica and my solo gigs, that's really all I have right now. All the other bands are on hold,
Yeah.
and which is okay.
True.
It's fine with me. I don't need to jump back into that busy schedule again. I'm just
Yeah.
taking my time and seeing what
You're
happens.
you're enjoying the guitar and you all
Yeah,
the time you can get with yourself.
exactly.
And with your permission, I want to mention and give a huge shout out and congratulations to Jessica Lynne Witty and
Yes.
Raymond Hayden, individually as well as with the band Grieve the Astronaut, because they are the finalists of the ISSA Awards 2021. Raymond Hayden as the Emerging Artist of the Year, male, and Grieve the Astronaut as the Best Band of the Year. And Jessica has her Entertainer of the Year and other two category. I'm sorry, I forget it right now, but she has nomination. She's a finalist in three categories, so that's
Wow,
really awesome. So
that's
congratulations to you
Yes.
yes.
guys.
Congrats.
Cheers,
Woo!
cheers.
Absolutely, there you go. Awesome. And yeah, that brings me to the question: how did you guys meet, Jessica, Raymond, and you?
Oh, I was playing in another band called Aaron Crawford. He's from the local area, country artist.
Uh-huh.
And we were doing a show in Seattle, and the opening band was Jessica Lynn.
Ah.
And so I watched them, and I had seen her name around, but I had never heard her. And I watched her and her
Mhm.
band, and I loved them. I thought she was awesome. And when she got done with her set, I introduced myself and told her that
Mhm.
I thought she was really good and I really enjoyed it. And I hadn't seen a lead singer like Jessica um, perform
Badass.
perform like her, live. I thought she was really good. So anyway, so then a couple years later, uh, all of a sudden it was Christmas Eve 2019. Okay,
Ah.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve 2019. I All of a sudden in the middle of the day I got an email, and
Aha.
that email was from the bass player Lynn Sorensen. And
Oh.
he's and I've known him and worked with him on different projects throughout the years,
Mhm.
here and there, but he's evidently he was the bass player in Jessica Lynn's band, which I did not know. I didn't even know Jessica
Mhm.
Lynn was around anymore or whatever. So he sent me
Mhm.
this email Christmas Eve, said, "Hey, Jessica Lynn, I play in the band Jessica Lynn, and they're looking for a guitar player, and I thought of you. If you're interested,
Ah.
let her know. Here's her number." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds good. I think I'd like that." And I was crazy because I'm in so many bands at that time. This is pre-pandemic, right
True.
before the pandemic. I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't have time for this."
Name the band Lyle is there.
Yeah, yeah. And so that was like a little Christmas present because it sounded like a fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Original country rock, um, me being a supporting guitar player in a very talented band. And
Yeah.
so a couple days later, after Christmas, Jessica called me and we talked on the phone. And I told her at that time, I go, "Well, let's see, I got a day job, but I have summers off. There's no school in the summer. I got 10 weeks to tour, which is perfect."
Wow.
And
Yeah.
most of our festivals and shows are in the summertime, where it's very
Yeah.
busy. That's why the school bus job is great. And and I said, I'm in a whole bunch of all these other bands, and I go, it's all on my calendar. Uh, and if you book me first, I'll play with you. You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
whoever books me first plays with me.
first come,
You
first
know,
served.
exactly. And she goes, okay, you're hired. So that was it. And I don't
Welcome
think
aboard.
I don't think she remembers meeting me a couple years earlier at that performance. But so I was hired, and it was right before New Year's Eve 2020 or whatever it is, and we're kind of texting a little bit and emailing back and forth and planning our rehearsals for the spring of 2020. And we need to
Uh-huh.
rehearse with me and get me ready for all the shows that were going to come up on 2020. Well, none of that ever happened.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
um, we did one or two streaming shows with the band. I think one streaming show last summer at a
Uh-huh.
studio, but it was just a couple songs. But
Mhm.
this coming Memorial Day weekend will be our first show since
Oh,
Wow.
prior to the pandemic. So we got a holiday coming up at the end of this month, and it's a 3-day weekend
Awesome.
here, and we're playing a big winery out in Eastern Washington, and we've been rehearsing for it, and I've been practicing the songs, and
So
so
cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I tease her, I go, damn, I've been in the band for like 15 months, and I'm finally getting to play a gig.
yeah.
You know,
Best.
no,
That's the best thing.
yeah. I go, geez.
Awesome. Awesome. No, I'm really happy that's happening for you also.
Yeah.
And we truly love you guys, Jessica, Ray, and you.
Thank you.
And I have to thank Holly, who is in the chat currently. She's the one who introduced me to your music. And,
Oh, good.
you
Thanks.
know, it has been such a pleasure since then. And today that I talked to you, it has been such an amazing time. So I'm truly enjoying it. So,
Good.
plus, I have so many more questions,
Yeah.
but since we have been over an hour, I'm going to pause on my side. Funky, if you have a question or two, please go ahead.
Yeah. If you could, what is the best piece of advice you could give to your fans, friends, and the people who are watching right now?
But but before you go ahead with that, this is not the end of Lyle Ronglien on the Voice It Show. There will be a
Oh,
part two. So
there
we
will
invite
be.
you right here. You will have to come for a part two.
Okay. All right. No problem. No problem.
Woo.
Well, let's see.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the best advice I could give to fans and friends? Is that what you asked, Funky?
Yeah, and people who are watching right now. Yeah.
The best advice? Um,
Uh-huh.
yes. So this is to me, that's a general question. It's not an advice to other beginning musicians or anything. It's a general question. Is
Mhm.
Yes.
okay. I think it might sound like a clichéic answer, but um, life is short. My best advice is
Mhm.
to remember life is short. Uh, be happy, live in peace, live in love, and live in happiness. And uh, and remember,
Wonderful.
remember life is short. So do those little things that
Right.
that are meaningful to you and meaningful to others, whether they're your family or your friends or even to a stranger. Um, it it could all change in one day for you or somebody else. And
True.
so I thank God every morning that I'm waking up, you know, and
So true. Yeah.
looking forward to a new day and what's going to happen in that day that I'll be extra thankful for. And so it's try to look at all those things, you know. I think it's kind of how I try to live every day, is to remember that life is short for any of us and all of us, and shorter for some,
Right.
and to just have total peace, love, and happiness. And
Right.
even though you're going through an amazing time in your life, with anything in life, there's amazing highs and there can be amazing lows, you know.
True.
And
True.
you have to navigate through all that and just try to get by and enjoy the time that we have here. And I've enjoyed my time here. Look at that segue.
Oh,
Woo!
Look at that
I
yeah.
love
segue,
that.
people. Is this
I
professional
love
show
that.
business or what? No, no.
Wow, that's so cool. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
Yeah,
you.
wise
Oh,
words.
thank you. I hope that's good advice. You know, it's just
It
good.
is.
You can't.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we get caught up in all of our anxieties and stresses of the day and life and our jobs and stuff. But you got to break it down and just go, hey, you know, I can work through this. I
True.
can power through this. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. And it is a great note to sign off with. Thank you so much. And
You're
it
welcome.
has been an absolute pleasure that you gave us your time this morning and also played
You.
for us and told us so fun
You're
stories. And
you're welcome.
I I compiled a little collage for you just to show that
Okay.
how much all of the fans love you. So these are the
Yes.
pictures of your fans and whatnot. So we love you all.
Thank you.
And we all love you.
Love you back. I love you
So
back.
thank
Yes.
you. And for people, before you leave, please go follow Lyle on his socials. So that's at the rate Lyle Ronglien on Instagram and Twitter, and at the rate Lyle.Ronglien on Facebook. And obviously, for more info, you can visit lyleronglien.com, and all the other links such as Spotify and whatnot are in the description of this video. So please go ahead and check that out. And we wish all the best for the upcoming album Lyle, and also
Yes.
Oops.
which is
Oops.
happening with Jessica.
Yeah. He left. Yeah. He left us hanging there. You froze up
So
just
that's
right
that's
for a
one
Yeah.
of
moment.
the things.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks
Sorry.
to all the people that are live online watching us. Gloria,
Yeah,
Holly, Mar, Ted, Anders, so many of you. And I hope
true.
you enjoyed this interview and as much as I have. And anytime you want me back on, I'd be happy to do it. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, thank you so
Yay!
much. And thank you so much for coming on and, blessing us
Yes,
with your presence and telling all those amazing stories. We
Thank
can't
you.
wait for part
absolutely.
2.
Okay,
And
part
for
two.
the album.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's
Sure,
keep in touch. Let's keep in touch.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching today. Have a great week ahead, and love, peace, and happiness to all. And see ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo!
All right.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Alrighty. Good night.
Good night.